Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. We're going to be taking a look at the normal raid, Asphodelos, the 4th Circle. After the video, if this helped you out in any way, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel as it does help me out. In this dungeon, like most of the others, if you touch the outside, it will mean instant death, so make sure that you're staying away from the spikes. Elegant Evisceration will be the tank buster ability that you'll want to pop a tank cooldown to help mitigate some of the damage. When he casts Setting the Scene, he will turn a fourth of the platform into a particular type of elemental effect. Now this will not do any initial damage, but after he casts Enix, it will do a different AoE depending on which elemental effect it is, and will do additional damage in the area of effect where the scene is at. For the electric one, you'll want to move as far away from the middle of the room as possible. Decolation will do party-wide damage that just has to be healed through. When he casts Setting the Scene again, he will change to a different elemental effect. Depending on which one you get, then you'll need to rotate your placement. If you get the water one, then you'll want to move as close to the middle of the platform as possible, as it will knock everyone away from the middle. But you do not want to be knocked into the side of the room that has the elemental effect in it, as you will take extra damage. Hell Skewer will begin channeling a long line AoE that will not show its AoE until about halfway through the cast, so you'll just want to move out from in front of him. I'll follow this with an Elegant Evisceration, so make sure that you're away from the rest of the party as it does have an AoE to it, before casting Setting the Scene with 3 AoEs this time. You will have already seen 2 of them, and depending if there is a fire or poison AoE, then you'll have to do different things for those. But if you get the water one first like we did, then you'll want to group towards the middle to avoid the knockback pushing you into the spikes. The poison one will do an AoE on every party member that you'll want to spread out for. While he's doing this, he'll also cast Hell Skewers, so you'll want to make sure that you're not in front of him. Followed by the Lightning AoE, so you'll want to group up towards the edges of the arena to reduce the amount of damage from this. Followed by another Hell Skewer. Blood Rake will be party-wide damage that is a bit more damaging than the Decolation, and will also set him up for his next ability, where he'll cast Blown Coils. For this one, you will need to stand in the circles that do not match your class type, so DPS cannot be in the swords, healers cannot be in the cross, and tanks cannot be in the shield. While this is going on, he'll cast Hell Skewer, followed by Decolation. when he teleports to the center of the room and begins casting a cardinal direction shift. If it has a sword on it, then you'll need to move to the sides of that platform next to the sword to avoid the large cone AoE that he'll do afterwards. If it has a cape, then you'll want to move in front of it, as when he teleports to it, he'll do a large knockback effect. He'll do this 3 times in quick succession, so you'll just need to alternate around the platform and moving either to the sides of the AoE or the front of it to avoid getting hit or knocked into the spikes. And then teleport to the center of the platform again before casting Blood Rake, which will set him up to do his next ability, which will be Balloon Burst. This will summon multiple orbs that will follow all party members. You'll need to make sure that you're not running into your orb or another of your symbol. So again, DPS, make sure not to run into the swords, tanks not into the shields, and healers not into the crosses. But you can hit 2 of these to save your party members. If you run into 3 of them, then you will receive a doom effect. So make sure that you're not running into more than 2. He'll follow this up with Elegant Evisceration, so make sure that you're topping the tank off right beforehand. Before another Setting the Scene, this one will do 4 different elemental effects. This one should add fire into the group, which will be a group up AoE. So depending on where your AoEs start, for us it was the poison, so we spread out around the room. At the same time, he'll target a random party member and cast Hell Skewer. Next we got the lightning, so we moved away from the center of the room. Followed by the fire, so we grouped up in the middle of the room. While he is casting this, he will also cast Balloon Coils, so as soon as the AoE goes off, you'll need to spread out to the different circles as soon as possible. Followed by the final element, which for us was water, so we grouped up towards the middle to avoid being knocked back into the spikes. Immediately after this, he will cast one of the cardinal direction shifts, so you'll need to move to be either in front of it or to the side of it. For casting Decolation for some small party-wide damage. Followed by Blood Rake for even more party-wide damage, so healers, make sure that you're spamming those AoE heals right now. He'll do a Balloon Burst at this time, which will be even more AoE damage as your party members are running into the different orbs. Followed by one of the cardinal direction shifts. Before casting Decolation yet again. Followed by Elegant Evisceration. And another Setting the Scene. At this point, the fight will just repeat itself, so if you've made it this far, you should be able to manage the rest of the fight. Right before this Setting the Scene, he'll cast Blood Rake for a bit of party-wide damage. And then begin casting Pinax. First one for us was the poison, so yet again we spread out. I'll do Hell's Skewer at the same time. Followed by the fire, so we grouped up in the middle so that we could also immediately spread out for the blown coils. Followed by the water and a cardinal direction shift immediately after. Follow this up immediately with a Decolation and a Blood Rake for some large party-wide damage. Followed by another Balloon Burst. And then a cardinal direction shift. I'll give you a moment to heal up before casting Elegant Evisceration. Followed by another Setting the Scene. I'll start it off with another Blood Rake before casting Pinax and starting the elemental effects. It was poison again for us, so we spread out, while also avoiding the Hell Skewer that he cast at the same time. Next we got lightning, so we went to the outsides of the room. Followed by fire, so we grouped in the middle and get ready to spread out for the blown coils. And then stay towards the middle to avoid the knockback from the water. Followed by a cardinal direction shift. And this should be it for Asphodelos, the 4th Circle. I hope this helped everyone out, and I hope you enjoyed the Asphodelos series as much as I did. If this video helped you out in any way, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch y'all in the next one.